All right, I'm back. Part two of my DIY, which is a makeover of bar stools that I got. So here, I'm going to try to keep up with what I'm doing. Whew, okay, so here you see me covering, putting the material on. I did realize that I don't care how you center your print, when you pull it in and stuff like that, it doesn't line up all the time. So that's that. And I kind of sped it up here because you get the gist of what I'm doing. I'm pretty much just stapling it down. I did learn, being that this is my first time, I will start with my corners first, and then do the other ones, the other section. So I definitely would do that. I'm glad I did have a lot of material, and I was just showing you there where I'm about to staple down the attached material because I didn't have enough. So that's what I was just showing you, but see, that thing is ugly. But yep, stapling it down. Glad I use a lot versus less. So here we go. And on this, I'm just cutting off the excess material and making sure that I reveal those holes and don't cover them up. Because if they're covered, I'm going to forget about them. And that's what I did the second time. And my first time was awesome. But the second time, it was just a mess. But here we go. And I still wasn't happy with all the extra material, so you see me here still cutting. And you can see where I was cutting around the holes. I was stapling so fast I wasn't paying attention, but I still was able to not have them covered. Making sure everything's okay, and wiping it off and looking at it, I was so upset. Thumbs it down. Yeah, it looked a hot mess. But I mean, this is my first time. But I just can't figure out why the second one came out horrible. And I'm showing you where the pattern is lopsided. It had wrinkles in it. I don't know what happened. The first time I did my first one was excellent. I don't know. Maybe I got too excited. Who knows? I didn't want to mess up doing the first one. I didn't want everybody to see it, but you saw it. All right, the protectors. I got fabric protector. I had two of those for a very long time. I had those for my shoes years ago. So I didn't spray it until afterwards, but you see me tracing this. I should have did this at the beginning. I would have had more prints and not have to rig stuff up. But here you go. This is for the back of the stool, the very back. So I just got a cardboard box and I traced it, and I had made sure when I traced it around and had some excess material so I can cover it. So that's what I'm actually showing you here. I actually only needed two of those. I did three. I was going to do three for each chair, but I realized I only needed one because I'm just covering the back of the stool. So I'm about to start cutting cutting it out. So I'm at the end of cutting this, and I'm just showing you. I didn't even stay on the lines, but I did it big enough. Well, I almost didn't, but you'll see further down. So I'm cutting this one, and then of course I have to cut the next one, and the next one is for the bottom of the chair, which was all I needed was one piece of the white material, one layer, small piece, and I just went ahead and just traced it and cut it big. And I didn't need it that big, but you'll see. And I'm showing you the protection that I'm using, the different fabric protectors that I'm using. So, and I sped it up. So what I did was I pushed it down so it can kind of sink in there. And then I took a highlighter. I'm still cutting material. I took a highlighter because I know the highlighter wasn't going to stay on there. And I pressed up the back of it down. So whatever don't stay on the metal, it shows up on the box. And that's what it did. So I did that to locate my holes because I would forget. So now that I did that, now it was crazy because I didn't catch it until later. Okay, so I'm about to pretty much, you can tell I'm about to just lay this material on the back. I'm about to lay this material down on the back piece. And I was trying to make sure I had the cute little design directly in the middle, but this chair was looking handicapped, so it really didn't make it. But it didn't make a difference, but I was still going to try anyway. But I didn't even poke the holes in this. you see me trimming off the excess, which I did trim a little too much, and you'll be able to see it shortly because you'll see me trying to adjust it. Oh no, I get scissor happy, but um, I was doing this and I didn't poke the hole in the material. I didn't realize until when I was, after I put it on, I was like, well, God darn it, that was stupid. But I'm learning. This is the process that I'm learning. So I did try to speed certain part of this up because you get the gist of what I'm doing. So I'm making sure that it's big enough and it's in the middle. The print is in the middle. And you can see where I was short at. You see right there where I'm peeping? Some of it did fold under, but I was able to get it. So I went ahead to keep it in the same spot, glue it down a little bit. And then I started gluing around. I remember some person a long time ago talk about getting these finger protectors. And I thought about it when I knew I was going to do this project. So I went ahead and got the finger protectors, and they came from the Craft Square section of the Dollar Tree. I got 3 of them. Let me tell y'all something. It's worth it. I probably won't use them as much, but at least I got it. But what was crazy was I kept trying to use my second finger. I sped this up. Instead of my index finger, my middle finger, instead of my index finger. So next time I just put them on all the fingers I think I would use them on. But they work great. It's a good investment. All right, so you see me just pushing it down and going over to the next item, this was the white piece that I got just to cover the bottom. I know nobody can't see the bottom, but in my mind, the fact that it's not covered, it would bug me. So I did this one correctly and went ahead and I cut it big enough. Excuse me, and going ahead and cut it down to size so it could not show so much. And you can see here my highlighter again, I'm marking the holes. And one thing I did learn is to cut the holes much bigger, because all I did was just pierce the holes where the highlighter was. I couldn't find the holes right now. I was trying to find them. All I did was pierce it, but I did learn that you don't pierce it. Like, yeah, of course, pierce it to get an opening. Like, you see me piercing it, but I should have just cut them open a little more, because when I tried to put the little screw in, it was trying to open up the hole bigger before it went into the chair when I was putting it together. So it's little stuff that I've learned. But I mean, you learn as you go. You make mistakes, but this is stuff I need to remember the next time. So I'm just going over it and making sure that it went all the way through. And here you see me. And the glue that I'm using is, and I didn't mention that, I should mention my supplies. The glue that I am using is Gorilla Glue. The Gorilla Glue sticks I got from Walmart. So, yeah. I guess I didn't go over my list because you could generally see what I'm using. That would be the only thing you couldn't see was the type of glue that I'm using. I'm trying to think of what else. I think that was it. But yeah, I'm just pressing it down until it cools down because I want it to stick before I did any other movements. Still making sure it's down. And I'm just trimming off all the excess hair. And still trimming. And as I was trimming, I noticed that there was some more excess. It wasn't as big, so I just went ahead and took those off. It didn't make a difference, but I just wanted to go ahead and do it. Alrighty, so I'm attaching my back. I didn't think this was going to work, but those clips I got from the Dollar Tree years ago, and I have never used them. And they worked amazing. Now I'm going to tell you, the white and the blue ones, they're not as strong, but that red one with the metal, oh baby. I will definitely be going back to get me a couple more packs to have. And if glue got on either one of those, the blue, the white, or the red with the metal on it, you just rub it off. So that was a good thing. And they held on pretty good. And I don't think I was putting in a lot of glue, but I knew I probably needed to do a lot of glue. Because I thought I was doing a little bit of glue. Excuse me. But as you can see, it was oozing out. And I was taking the other piece of cardboard I didn't need and was taking it off. And it was a pretty cool thing. I mean, it didn't look bad or anything like that, so that helped. So I was done with that, so I went ahead back to this to go ahead and start putting everything together. I don't know, I think I was watching TV. I know my pastor was preaching, so I had to do the voiceover because you could hear everything. So here it is, putting it together. Had to make sure I was turning it right and flipping it and all this other stuff. I was looking at the other one, I think, to make sure that I was putting it on right. And let me tell you something, I had the hardest time because I should have opened up those holes a little larger on that sheet. Because like I said, when I put my little screws in, it was trying to open up the holes larger. So it was giving me hell. So I had to keep pausing it, get everything going, and then, come back on to record it. Whew, but I got it done. And the bottom one, the bottom wasn't bad, but that top one, whew, that top one gave me the business. Because the piece of cardboard that I use and the material need to be a little more wider for the screws to go through. But I got it done. Tighten them up, and now on to the next. When I did that, that was like, where are the holes in the material? That's why I was like, that's why I paused. I'm like, you didn't. So I was like, I got to go ahead and put the holes in. The good thing is you can kind of see through the material, so I know the holes were in the back of the cardboard. Y'all, I had the hardest time with this doggone thing. I got to the point where I had to take it off the table and put it on the chair, and I had to leave my body on it. And like I said, the hole in the material and the hole in the cardboard should have been a little bit bigger. But that was my mistake. So I don't know how long it actually took me. See, I cut off clips so you guys couldn't really see. And I was trying to stick them in there, but this thing, I think it almost took me a good 30, 40 minutes. But then I got it in there. And it's done. Looking handicapped. And that piece I'm pressing down, that popped out. So I put hot glue on it, and I was trying to make sure it held. I don't know why it popped out, but it's all good. Just showing you guys the finished result. I hated it. The back part. The seat was fine. The back was what I did not like. So I call it the ugly one. It's the one that I'll sit on, nobody will see. But nobody comes to my house anyway. It's just me. But it's just in my mind, I know it's there. All right, so putting it together. Excuse the background, y'all. That bag you see, that's supplies for my next project. See, I had supplies all over the place. And while decluttering and cleaning up on vacation, I was like, let me get this crap taken care of, removed. So lining up the holes. I'm showing you, make sure that thing's in the front. I don't know why it came to mind. Thank God it did, because I would have just thrown that piece on and not realized that went in the front. That's the footrest. Duh. So what I did was I went ahead and started putting all the screws in and screwed them down my hand, all four, and then I started using the tool. And of course, this didn't have to really pierce through nothing except the sheet. But this one went in really good. I guess the screws were different on this one. The screws were definitely different on this one. So it was much easier, and I was so happy, and I was so tired and so over it. But I wanted to get it done. I am going to recover them eventually one day. But I'm going to use darker material, because I did see a spot on one of them. A little small spot. I didn't even notice it. So I was trying to turn myself around, and I was struggling. So yes, it's still good to go. I just wanted to make sure the material wasn't moving. Side by side, you can see the issue with the one on the left. I don't know. I'm seeing it on my left. I don't know what side you see it on. And then I also saw where the print wasn't lining up, and I was pointing to it on the good chair. But that's it. That's the finished result. So I'm rocking with that for right now. But I'll most likely be going to the Salvation Army to try to see what other material I want to try with the next couple of years from now. And this is just an add-on because I forgot this part. I'm just showing you what it looks like in my kitchen. That's the ugly one. No, that's the good one. And this is the ugly one. And see, when you walk in the kitchen, you wouldn't really see it. So yeah, I was telling you guys I went to Trader Joe's, and that's the stuff I got from Trader Joe's. I spent $70.01. But anyway, Trader Joe's will get you. So those are my chairs. They actually go higher than the table, way higher than the table, and they go really, really low. So I like them. I would like to try to reconstruct something to make the back go higher and add arms, but I'm not a professional, so later on down the line probably. And the good thing about the feet on those is if they get rusted, because I'll constantly wipe them off. I probably wouldn't use water, but would use like some kind of cheap rag I get from the Dollar Tree. I forgot which, microfiber rags. Wipe them down to keep them from being dusted. But if they get rusty, all you have to do is use a little Brillo pad and just wipe it, and it comes up. I was telling you that the table was $25. Each chair was $1.95, and my material was $1.99. So in all, rounding up, I paid $31 for my dining room set. I want to go cheaper than that, but that's what I came up with. That's the best I could do. But so far, I'm okay. So to kind of explain to you the foolishness in my background, this is the next clip. So that's what we look like in the dining room. Okay, guys, so this was in the background while I was doing my DIY. And I'm just showing you that I had the drop cloth. I'm taking that white blanket and I'm going to cover that opening. The stuffing out of the pillow, the backrest pillow, is going in that bag. And this will be the next project that I'm working on. So just stay tuned and watch and see what I come up with next. And I'm still explaining, but anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.